Hi, welcome back. Today, we're going to focus on integrating our core while developing pressing strength. Now, this is a concept that might not be brand new, but the way that I'm going to show how we're going to do it today is new. We're going to practice strengthening in the eccentric contraction. So what that means is the lowering phase of the chaturanga, of the push-up, is an opportunity to build more and more strength depending on how we lower. So if pushing with really good posture and form is difficult for you, like for example, most of the people that I see trying to do a chaturanga, they're letting their shoulders round when they're lowering. They can't push up with their whole body in a straight line. If they try to push up, the hips drop or something lifts faster. It's kind of like the worms goes on. So this exercise that we're going to practice is, in my opinion, the best way to teach our body to be able to do that, one of the best ways. And you're going to need a block for today's class to do that. And then we're going to begin lying down on the floor so we could feel the neutral spine posture. And then we're going to practice moving around and making it more difficult while maintaining that neutral spine. I feel like this is going to really help. And I want you to focus when we're doing the eccentric contraction. That means we'll be lowering on hands and knees, lowering the chest down onto the block, to really focus on going slowly as you lower, because the slower and more controlled that you do it, the more strength that you're going to build so that you can do it with legs straight one day. Okay, so let's get started. Lie down onto your back. And then instead of having the legs straight, I want you to bend your knees and plant your feet down on the ground. So just feel that your shoulders and your neck can relax and open. Feel your belly soften. And feel all this opening in your shoulder girdle, the shoulder girdle. And especially feel that the neck feels long, the muscles in the jaw are relaxed. Then take your arms up to the ceiling. Now I want you to turn your hands like you're pushing the ceiling, but at the same time, feel that your arm bones are plugging into the socket. So your shoulder girdle is very broad. The neck is flowing into its length. And then from there, just bring one leg up into tabletop, hold the abdominals in, bring the other leg up. And holding this position with your arms, holding your abs in, push your right heel forward, lower your legs slowly, just halfway. Keep the abs in, keep pushing like you're pushing the ceiling, push like you're pushing into a wall, keep the abs tight, but feel your spine get long and then change legs. Change legs. Practice the stability. Don't let your body twist side to side. Keep going, change legs. Side to side now, keep going. Feel your core starting to warm up, but holding this position. And then bend your elbows towards the ground, but don't hug them right into your ribs. Give yourself a little space and keep this movement. Keep going with the legs. Keep your shoulders broad, keep your neck long. And then we're just gonna try to bend and straighten the elbows as we do the legs. Ooh, this is tricky. This is like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time. And then hold the arms up, hold the legs in table, curl up towards your knees, wrap your front ribs in, keep the neck long, stretch your right leg out at a high diagonal, hug the armpits down to the hips, stretch the neck, stretch the buttocks out of the lower back, change legs, feel your core muscles engage, and then hug your knees into your chest. Roll yourself up to seated, and then take downward facing dog. Stretch back into dog. Hold in your down dog, 5 breaths, just letting your body start to warm up. Then walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. And as you inhale, slide your hands up your shins, come into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins again. Now hold in this flat back position and try to find the same feeling like when you had your back on the floor at the beginning. Then take your arms out in front of you, press the palms together. And then as you exhale, I want you to bring your elbows up and then lead with your thumbs. Try to pull your thumbs up and back behind you so you can feel that the muscles in the back of the shoulder turn on, but without sacrificing the core. Still keep your ribs in and your neck long. Then bring your hands back down in front of you, press the palms together, drop your butt back 1 more inch. And then as you exhale, draw the arms up, pretend like you're pushing the ceiling up and away with your thumbs. Keep the neck long, keep your core turned on and the spine long. Bring your palms back down, press the palms together. Again, pull up, squeeze in the back, but keep stretching long through your spine. Then fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale into the flat back. Step back 1 leg at a time into plank pose. And then I want you to set your knees down for just a moment, tap the knees down, and find the spinal elongation like at the beginning. Then maintaining that, keeping your arms strong and long, but shoulders in the socket, slowly just glide your hips back. They're gonna push your butt into the wall behind you. And then glide forward over your wrists. So really basic, I know, at the beginning. But we wanna make sure that we have this good movement, the core engaged while we're sliding with the arms. So when we do it with the legs up, it'll be as close to as perfect as possible. Now lift the knees up, find your core again, and slowly stretch back into dog. And glide forward, plank. Back to dog. And you just might feel that like you're using more abdominal muscles. You're keeping the integrity of the rib cage now. You're not letting one side sink or twist. Stretch back again. And then walk your feet forward. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, come all the way up. Press down through your feet as you raise the arms. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into plank pose. Okay, now here's where we're gonna use the block. I want you to set your block at the medium height, right underneath where your chest will lower. Then, instead of having the elbows come right into our side, tendency is gonna be when your elbows come into your side for your shoulder to round. So I want you to give your elbows a little bit of space from your side so you can find the same opening in your shoulder girdle as at the beginning. So with the hands right underneath the shoulders, I want you to slowly lower with the elbows going out to the side a little bit onto the block and pause. Now, find the same opening in your shoulder girdle, lengthen your neck, integrity through the lower back and the rib cage. And then as you engage your glutes, your outer hips and your core, lift yourself up from your strong core, come up. So it's not just your arms pressing, but I have to feel that my core is engaging to bring me up. Lower slowly onto the block, pause, and then engage your glutes, engage your legs, squeeze through your core. Use your exhalation to lift up. Can you feel the difference between just pushing with your arms and lifting from your legs and your core? Lower slowly. Now the slow lower will help you to build the strength. Feel your core, your glutes, and lift up. Make sure that the neck isn't rounding. We'll do 40 more, lower slowly. Now pause here. Let me see if you can curl your toes, lift your knees, keeping just as good a posture. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the core. Use your core to come up. And last one, knees come down, lower as slow as you can. Maybe even takes 5 counts to lower. Pause on the block, straighten your legs, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your legs, squeeze your core, use your core to lift. And then stretch back into down dog. Okay, so that's super important. And the bummer is that when we just flow through the salutations, there tends to
be a point where like we start to fatigue and we can't do that well anymore. And when that happens, I want you to just modify. Do it with the knees down as you lower and lift. And then when you feel like, okay, I've recovered my strength and energy again, then you could try the full thing. Walk your feet forward. Inhale, come into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Step back into plank. Now put that block back into position. Lower your knees down. We'll do 3 with the knees down. Lower slowly. Pause. Elbows out to the side a little. Engage your glutes, legs, and core. Come up. Lower slowly. Pause. Engage glutes, legs, core. Lower slowly. Now with straight legs, curl the toes under, lift the knees, push back through your heels, push through your legs, lift up. And then with straight legs, lower. Keep all the legs working. All the legs. Lower, lift up, stretch back into down dog. Now when you stretch into down dog, don't just hang into your joints. I want you to push into your hands, keep the micro bend in your wrist, elbows, shoulder joints, and feel that your core muscles are working to support you. So the front body is staying in as you stretch up and back. Now reach down through your left foot and raise your right leg up behind you. Stretch and reach. And as you exhale, shift into plank, pull your knee up to your right armpit. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale to your left pit. Inhale it back up. Exhale the knee to your chest. Step your foot all the way up to your thumb and drop your back knee. Pause here for a breath. Let your head drop. And then as you reach down through your feet, come on up, raise your arms up. Good. Lengthen the buttock flesh down in the left buttock. Open up through the front of your left hip. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step back into plank pose. Let's practice that chaturanga push-up. Imagine the blocks there. Turn on your legs, turn on your core. You can do it with the knees down, that's fine. Lower slowly. And then keeping really good posture, broad shoulders, engage your core to come up. Stretch back to down dog, raise your left leg up. So don't think of the knees down one as like lazy or something. You're training your body to do it well. Shift into plank and pull your knee up to your armpit. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale to the right pit. Inhale back up. Exhale the knee to the chest. Pull up. Step your foot up to your thumb. Drop your back knee, lower your head down. And then reach down through your legs and raise your arms up. Descend the buttock flesh on your right buttock. Breathe space through the front of your hip. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Step back into plank position. Lower slowly into chaturanga. Pause. Lift straight back up. Downward facing dog. Look forward in between your hands. Step or float up. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees slightly and roll yourself up. Stand up over your ankles and join your palms together. With your eyes closed, take a slow, steady breath in. And let it out. Drop your arms to your side. Surya Namaskar. Inhale into chair pose. Surya Namaskar B. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step or float back into chaturanga. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale into down dog. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale, come up, reach down through your feet as you raise your arms. Hands down, step back and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale to come up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Reconnect to your breath. Balance effort with surrender. Bend your knees and look forward. Step or float to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale into chair pose. Stand Samasthiti. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now, on this third one, I want us to pick up the pace a little bit. You notice it started going a little faster in the second, but see if you can keep the really good form when you start to go faster. When we're learning something new, slow is the way to go. That's how your body learns new movement patterns. But eventually, you want to be able to go with speed and still maintain that same integrity. Let's try it. Step or hop up. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Stand Samasthiti. Inhale into chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Step or float. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left. Stretch from your back hip into your heel as you come up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold in down dog. Reconnect to your breath. Bend your knees. Step or hop to the top. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose. Stand Samasthiti. Standing at the top of your mat, Bring your right heel up into tree pose, Vrikshasana. Place the heel right along the left inner thigh, then bring your palms together. Let your hips start to level out again, and as you grow straight down through the left heel, open up from your right side lower back into your knee and from your right groin into your knee. Join the palms, interlock with the right index finger on top, turn the palms inside out. As you stretch your arms forward, feel your inner arm bones deepen into the socket and the collarbone spread. Now rebend your elbows, raise your arms up halfway, looking for the same action, and the integrity of your core, the same feeling like when you're on your back at the beginning. Again, rebend your arms, raise them up as high as you can, maintaining the collarbones, the inner arms, and the integrity of your core. Not letting your ribs give up and sink forward. Breathe through your nose. Bring your arms back down. Change sides. Place your left heel up onto the right inner thigh. Join the palms. First, open up through the lower back, from the sides of the lower back, down through the buttocks, to the sacrum, into the outer knees. Then interlock with the left index finger on top, turn the palms inside out. Collarbones broad, inner arms sink back into the socket. Rebend. Raise the arms halfway, same actions. Can you feel if one shoulder wants to get wonky or your ribs might try to sink more on one or the other? Rebend. And then raise the arms up as high as you can, maintaining those actions. Bring your arms back down. Lower your leg down. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, adjust the shorts. Inhale, flat back. Step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step for warrior one. Inhale, come up. Open up to the side, warrior two. Same thing that you're looking to feel in tree pose. Make sure that your lower back feels like it's opening up. You're not sacrificing the lower back space in order to get this right knee to open. Then imagine your left hand was against a wall. Push like you're pressing the hand into a wall. Flow from the neck through the shoulder. And then with your right hand like you're pressing into a wall as well. Reach through the walls away from you, through the center of your chest, through your collarbones, through your fingers, but without closing your lower back. See if you can go a little deeper. Keep the reach back through the back arm. Don't sink over your right leg. Then tip and place your right hand onto the inside of your foot on the floor or on the block. Stamp into your right heel. Wrap the left arm behind the back. Let's take a half bind or a full bind, your call. Whichever bind you have, use your left hand to help guide your right outer hip towards your back heel, but while opening up your lower back at the same time. Drive through the right heel. Breathe your spine long. Release, open your arms back up. Reach down through your feet, come back up into warrior two. Straighten your right leg and reach into triangle pose. Feel the center right heel bone descend, open the toes, open the sole of the foot. And again, the focus of opening up from the lower back, not projecting the ribs forward as you open up your chest and your arms. Then bring your left hand down to the mat. Spin your back heel up as you bend your right knee. Left hand plants flat. Twist open. And then turn onto the outside edge of your right foot. So we're starting to load the left arm, but remember your spine at the beginning. Same feeling like when you're on your back on the floor at the beginning. The head in the line of the spine like it's resting on the ground. And then from here, see if you can step your right leg back, or you can just stay on the outside of the foot, loading the left arm with good posture. It's more important to me that you're building strength with good posture than like going for the most advanced variation of the pose and letting the spine sacrifice its integrity. If you're able to take the big toe up, that's cool too. But don't lose that lower back space that you learned in the tree. Slowly with control, go back into downward facing dog or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot. Inhale, come up, warrior one. Open up to your side, two. Turn your right hand like it's pressed into the wall. Turn your left hand like it's pressed into the wall. Open through your lower back, through your pinkies. Open through the collarbones, through the index fingers. Don't strain in your neck or in your shoulders. Flow the energy from the base of the neck out through the elbows, out through the wrist, out through the finger joints. Then place your left hand onto the inside of your foot, on the blocker on the floor, right arm up. Wrap your right arm, half bind or full bind. Feel your weight stamp into your left heel and guide the left outer hip back without closing your low back. Open your arms back up. Reach to your feet, come back up. Then straighten your left leg and reach into triangle. Even the same thing here, make sure that the way that you're stretching your arms and your legs is helping the spine to find the same feeling like when it was on the floor, nice and long. Then bring your right hand down, spin your back heel up as you bend your knee, plant your right hand flat, and twist, take the left arm up, then turn onto the outside edges of your feet, hold there, or as you press into the right outer foot and find good posture, making sure that you're loading the right arm, the shoulder well, step back, or even take your big toe up. But once in a while, it's good just to work in the preliminary pose and make sure that your intention that you started with, you're still able to maintain that. And then maybe at the very end, if you've held for a while and you really are connected to your intention, then you could try to go a step further, whether it's stepping the leg back or taking the big toe up. Slowly with control, come back into plank pose. Stretch back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale, come up. Then bring your hands behind your back, knuckles together, take reverse prayer, straighten your right leg. Back foot comes a little closer. Inhale, open up across your chest. Exhale, fold forward, halfway out over your leg, and hold in that position for a breath. And then take the whole spine forward and down evenly out over your leg without twisting on your right foot. Then interlock your hands and reach your knuckles up and over, or use a strap if you've got the tight shoulders. Inhale into the flat back, pause. Press into your feet and come up to stand. Keep your hands interlocked or in the strap behind you. Now bend your right knee and lean out halfway out over your leg. Now as you open up across the shoulders and engage your triceps, turn the elbows back, make sure that you're not dumping your ribs out. I want you to keep the same feeling as on the back at the beginning. So your core is integrated. Collarbones are broad, neck is long. Then from here, we're gonna step up into warrior three. Just don't bang your head into a brick wall. Lean into your right foot, go right on the center of the heel, and then as you load the right hip, grip the outer hip back towards your back heel and start to lift your back leg up. You could keep the hands onto the buttock or the strap onto the buttock so you can help to navigate the pelvis. Level the pelvis, reach the tail straight back, push through your back heel, and then keep the nice wide shoulder girdle without dumping the ribs out. We don't want to harden the front ribs forward. You might be able to lift the hands off the buttock now and reach back. Then without your left foot touching the floor, come up to stand. Ooh, outer hip situation. Bring the left knee up. Raise the arms. Stretch the left leg straight out. Don't let your butt tuck. Bend your right leg. Cross your left leg over. Cross your left arm under. Uncross your arms and your legs. Stand tall, mountain pose. Hug your right knee up to your chest. Hold there or take your big toe. Utthita Hasta. Now open your leg out to the side. And just remember, you can practice this pose with the heel up on something. I highly recommend that if you don't have the hamstring flexibility yet. Use the prop to teach your body the hamstring flexibility while opening up. You can turn the gaze to challenge your balance over your left shoulder. Come back to center with your leg. Release the foot, arms up. Turn the thigh out. Cross the ankle above your left knee. Hands come to prayer. Start to sit back like you're in a chair. Little deeper, little deeper, little deeper. Maybe hook the elbows to the shin. Hold there or put the hands down. Hold there, or you could hook your leg up into your arms, and those of you who are working the arm balance course can practice leaning into flying pigeon. Otherwise, just hang out in the hip opener, 5 breaths. Stand tall, mountain pose. Come back up. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into down dog or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot. Warrior one. Inhale, come up. Bring the hands behind your back, take reverse prayer, press your knuckles together, step your back foot a little bit closer and fold forward out over your leg. Pause halfway, take a breath. Imagine I have a rope on your hips, pulling your hips up and back towards the ceiling back wall behind you, and then go forward and down out over your leg. Go slow enough so you can let the whole spine move instead of rounding in chunks. Then interlock your hands and reach your knuckles up and over, or use a strap or a towel. Inhale into the flat back, press through your feet, stand up tall and mountain. So shoulders open, but without projecting your middle forward. Then lean forward halfway, left knee bent. Make sure that you have that good shoulder opening without sinking in your core, and then step up to balance. As you lean into your left foot, before you lift your back foot all the way, grip that left outer hip back. Keep the hips level. You could feel with the thumbs on the buttock if you have your hands clasped, or the strap on the buttock, let the hips level. Grip the outer hip back. Don't let the hip crease yank forward. Now push straight back through your back heel. Find the posture from the floor at the beginning. As you strengthen that, strengthen the outer left hip, grow the spine longer, and now you might start to lift the hands and reach back, but without losing the left outer hip and the neutrality of the pelvis. If you do, just put your hands down on something in front of you like a tall block. Then without your foot touching the floor, come up to stand. Bring your knee up, arms up, legs straight out. Bend the left leg, wrap your right leg over, cross your right arm under. Uncross your arms and your legs, stand in mountain. Reach down to the center of your right heel as you hug the left knee up. Hold there or take your big toe. Open the leg to the side. Hold there or challenge the balance by looking over the right shoulder. Bring your leg back to center. Then turn the thigh out and cross your ankle just above your knee, hands to prayer. Start to sit back like you're sitting into the chair. Hold there, hook the elbows to the shin. Hold there or go deeper. And reach to your right foot as you come back up to stand. All right, now turn to your side and take your legs wide apart. And we're gonna flow in and out from standing into a couple of the twists. So from twisted triangle and the twisted half moon, turn your right leg out, pick up your left foot, turn it in more than halfway, raise your left arm, inhale. Exhale, reach, twist, put your hand down onto the outside of your foot, block or floor. Turn your rib cage first, then take your right arm up. Grow the tail back. Feel your spine decompress with your smooth, steady breath. Now from your strong right outer hip, lean into your right foot and step up into twisted half moon. Don't let the weight sink onto your right outer foot. Reach into the center heel, pin the right outer hip in, and grow your back leg and your spine. Reach straight out through your crown. Bend your right knee and slide back into twisted triangle. Ooh, maybe go a little deeper now. Press through your feet. Inhale, come up and around for the other side like a windmill. You need to do a little block trick, take the block with you. And reach and put your hand down onto the outside of your foot. Turn your rib cage first, then take your arm up. Look for the length. Length is more important. Then from your strong left outer hip, as you lean into the center left heel, slide your hand a foot in front of your foot and step up. Don't let the weight sink onto the outer foot. Pin into the center heel. Pin the left hip in. And reach straight back through your tail, through your back leg, as you lengthen through your crown straight ahead. Step back into twisted triangle. Notice how you might be able to go a little deeper in the second twisted triangle. Press into your feet, come up and around. Feet parallel. Clasp the hands behind your back and turn your shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward between your legs with your hands clasped. Let your head drop down. Reconnect to your breath. Smooth, steady breathing. Then set your fingertips down onto the ground. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, walk your hands back, fold deeper. Inhale, make a flat back. Now stretch from your left inner leg towards your inner foot. So smooth the groin down through the big toe mound. And as you soften your left side lower belly in, walk your hands over to your right ankle. And then let your head drop. But keep the length from the left inner groin into the big toe mound. Come back to center. Inhale. Flow from your right inner groin into your right big toe mound as you walk over to the left ankle. Come back to center, walk around to the front of your mat, and step back into down dog. Okay, now I want to do one more thing for teaching the arms to load. Set your knees down onto the ground, set your right elbow down, and depending on your shoulder mobility, you're going to angle the knuckles straight ahead to 10 o'clock, or if you're really open, you can angle to 12 o'clock, but this is a little more risky on the shoulder joint. So I'm gonna go halfway in between. Then we're gonna open up to the side with the right knee and the left foot down. And now I want you to feel how the shoulder head wants to sink forward. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the core in, but then as you drive into the elbow, you're gonna pretend like you're dragging the elbow back and the shoulder back towards the wall behind you. And can you feel when you do that? It's very subtle, but now you feel the muscles in the back of the shoulder turn on. And that's super important, because the stronger we get in the front of the shoulder from all the pushing, it actually makes the shoulders round more. So I want you to be able to build strength in the back of the shoulder as you load your arm. Now, with your hand on your hip, if you could lift your right knee off the ground without the front of the shoulder taking over, cool. But if when you go to lift the right knee off the ground, you can feel, oh, the chest and the front of the shoulder take over, just keep the knee down and keep working that action, strengthening the back of the shoulder. Those muscles aren't as strong as your big chest internal rotators, so it takes a little more finesse and taking weight off of them to get them to turn on. Change sides. Lower the left elbow, left knee goes down, and as we open up, we'll see, can you feel the bone nice and balanced in the socket? It's not hanging forward or back. It's only connected through ligaments and muscles there, so we want to feel that the muscles can hold it in a good position. So can you feel in the back of the shoulder? Now, the more I try to work in the back of the shoulder, the more I cheat from my rib cage. So I still want to keep the same feeling at the beginning. Nice strong core, ribs in, neck long, and then can I drive the elbow back in space? Like I'm trying to pull the elbow behind me, and then the chest starts to turn. Oh, I feel those strong muscles starting to work and turn on and get life. And then maybe you can lift the left knee up without the front of the shoulder taking over. And then slowly set the elbows down, both elbows down. On the elbows and the knees here, reach into your forearms, collarbones broad, reach from the bottom of the blades through the armpits into the elbows, and then lift up into down dog on your forearms. Hold there strong, tuck your belly in, bring your right knee up to your chest. Change, bring your left knee up. Keep spreading those blades, don't let them sink into each other. Turn the armpits back. Then set your knees down. Rest in child's pose. So we always want to be considering symmetry in the body when we're working on building strength. We tend to be more identified with the front, and if we're thinking like, oh, I want to strengthen my upper body just with pushing actions, but really important to strengthen in the back of the shoulder too. So I'm going to challenge you to work that same action whenever we do forearm planks. The next thing that we're going to work on is handstand preparation, which with all the pushing, the internal rotators are going to want to take over. So I want you to feel when we go to load the hands, you can keep the collarbones broad. They don't sink into each other. Let's give it a shot. So take your hands, come close to the wall, and we're gonna practice walking up the wall. Reach down through the hands, elbow joints, wrist joints open, but muscles strong. Arms like steel beams. Feel the integrity of the core. And then as you engage your hips and your ribs, we'll start to walk up. See if you can walk all the way up and then tuck your buttock to your heels. Squeeze your legs, tuck your ribs in as you reach into your hands. Collarbones nice and broad. And we're just gonna hold here for 5 minutes. Just get as long as you can with good posture. Come back down. Rest in child's pose. One more time. Go back up. This time you can practice turning around and kicking up the wall. Practice your headstand, practice your forearm balance, or you can just take a long Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Five more breaths, whichever one you're doing. And when you're done, when you've hit your edge, just come in child's pose. You don't have to hold longer. All right, come back into downward facing dog now. Step your right foot up by your right thumb and drop your back knee. Right hand to your right knee. Smooth from the front of the left hip down into the knee, the buttock down. As you inhale, come up, take your left arm up, and then twist, hook your left elbow to your knee. Join your palms. Hold there or slide the armpit towards the knee, reach the hand towards the ground, and the right arm over. Then hands to the ground. Hold here or back off on the stretch a little bit, bend your knee. And then as you reach down through the top of the knee, take a hold of the foot. Remember, you can come up higher, block, whatever you need. And it's not a requirement that you grab the foot. You can even prop this back foot against the wall, which is a variation that I start with beginners so they can teach the quad to release. The foot gets a prop, or you can like wedge a block underneath your ankle or something, because often to try to grab the foot, it'll create too much strain in the nervous system. We'll just end up building more strain instead of opening up. When we're doing these stretches, these deep stretches, you want to be able to feel that you're at a balance of effort and surrender, especially. Like on a scale of 1 to 10 of intensity, should be at a 5. Maybe you'll feel it like a 6 or 7 right when you come into it, and then you want it to calm down to a 5 as you're holding. Release your foot. Come back into the half splits or full splits. For the half splits, the hips come back over top of your knee, the front foot slides forward, and you stretch down through the toes. Full splits, you know what to do. Half splits, people, you can play with dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. which is either pointing the toes down or pulling the toes back towards you. And release that. Make your way back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Just feel things starting to calm down a bit more. Step the left foot. Lower the back knee. Left hand to the knee, come up. Raise your right arm. And twist. And just feel how this back knee variation, the back knee down variation, you might feel like you get a little more quad and hip flexor opening than you do when you have the back leg lifted. Just notice the difference, the variation of having the knee down. As the angles change, it's almost like a completely different pose. I like this one, it's nice. Hold there, slide deeper. Place your hands on the mat now. Then back the buttock off a bit, bring the heel to the butt, and see if you can reach back and clasp the foot. Stretch down from the hip through the quads down into the knee, from the buttock and the outer hip down into the knee. And then see if you can let the pelvis start to translate forward. This is one variation. Some of you guys like the upright variation more that we practiced a few weeks ago, and that's fine too. You can do that one if you like better. Then release that and come into the half splits or full splits. Release that. Stretch back into downward dog. Lie on your belly. Clasp your hands behind your back. And then lift your shoulders, head, chest up. Press the tops of the feet down, engage the legs. And then as you hollow out your lower belly, engage the glutes and lift the legs up just an inch. Feel the buttocks grip down towards the heels without clenching the tailbone. So you're gripping down the buttocks without clenching the buttock in. It's the subtlety of the buttock. It's very subtle. Lower yourself down and then bend your knees. See if you can reach back and grab a hold of your feet. I remember the first time my teacher said that, I was like, what the? This guy is on drugs, is hallucinating. There's no way that you can grip the buttocks down without clenching in. And then we had the buttock demonstration. I was, oh, okay. So instead of clenching into your tailbone, engage the glutes towards the backs of the knees. Feel the groins are soft though. You haven't clenched the groins to do it. Roll the heart open. And then if you're more flexible, start to draw the shins up and back. Lower your chest back down. Press up into upward facing dog. And stretch back into downward dog. Last back bend, camel pose, camel preparation or Supta Virasana. Stand up on your knees and back bend, or sit back on your heels and walk your hands back. We'll go for 5 breaths, camel or camel prep, or Supta Virasana. Good job. Slowly release that. Come to sit on your heels. Sit up tall. You can put a block in between your heels if it's uncomfortable on your knees or your ankles. And then twist to your right. Left hand to the outside of your knee, right hand behind you. You can hook the hand to the inside of the right foot as you're twisting. Virasana twist. Come back to center. Twist to the other side. Come back to center. Then the left leg will stay in Virasana and we'll stretch the right leg forward. Sit up straight and tall. Inhale. And then as you exhale, deepen this left hip crease and start to fold forward over your leg. Come back up, change sides. Come back up. Then sit in Upavista Konasana, legs wide apart. And start to tip forward. Maybe even hook your big toes. Come back up. Bring your left leg into Janu Shirshasana position, heel to the pubic bone, knee stays wide. Spin your belly, turn to face your right leg. Sit upright and just work on sitting up straight, stretching the legs. This might be enough stretch for you. Or if the sit bones are aiming straight down, the pelvis is upright, then you might want to start going further forward out over your leg. Don't strain, don't struggle, stay with your breath. If it gets up to a 7 in sensation, let yourself just be there. Don't try to push any deeper and just breathe into it. Let your breath guide you deeper instead of trying to muscle your way into the forward stretch. Inhale back up. Change sides. Take the left leg out wide. Bring the right heel in. Then sit up straight and tall facing your left leg. Hold there, or if you have the pelvis, the legs moving nicely, then start to stretch out over the leg. Right when you feel the barrier, just be there and breathe. Don't try to jam past. Come back up. Now take Baddha Konasana legs. Be right at the front of your mat, soles of the feet together, knees wide apart. Sit up tall or start to fold forward, up to you. One thing that I like to practice is turning the feet open, because it's going to give you the ankle mobility that you're going to need for lotus pose and Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. So you can kind of turn your feet open and use your elbows to keep descending your shins and your thighs. Then inhale, sit up tall again, and we're practicing the transition flowing back into plow pose from here. Now again, if that's too much on your neck or your spine, you have a messed up lower back or neck, I don't want you to try this one. Instead, you just do happy baby. Otherwise, you're gonna rock back onto the sit bones, take the legs up, balance it between the tail and the sit bones, and then roll up and over. Now from here, bring the feet close together, then hands down onto the mat, abs in, and see if you can control your spine down halfway, one vertebra at a time. Rolling out. Pause when the hips get to the ground, and then go back up and over. Roll your spine in. Ribs into the back of the front of the spine. As you stretch the legs up and over again, hover them up off the ground, and then roll yourself down halfway. Pause, and then roll until the buttock comes to the ground, and then back up and over. Don't strain your neck to do it. This time, legs together, hands come to the back, and lift the legs up if possible. Lower your feet, roll yourself out. We'll take the counter pose, the fish. Press the elbows, come up under the crown. And release that. Hug your knees in. Roll yourself up to seated. Cross your legs and fold forward, or take double pigeon. Or you could take Gomukhasana legs too, with the knee crossed over the knee. Inhale, come back up. Then take your left hand behind your back from under, right arm from above. Slide the hands towards each other and reach the elbows in opposite directions. Feel the autonomy of the blades and try not to harden the ribs out. Release, change the cross of your legs, and fold forward. Come back up. Take the right hand behind the back from under, the left arm up. Bend the left elbow. Reach the elbows in opposite directions. Release that. Stretch both legs out and fold forward over your legs, Paschimottanasana. And then lie down onto your back for Shavasana, corpse pose. If there's any last little movements you want to do, like a last hug and knees or spinal twist, that's fine. Give your body permission now to relax and open up. Feel in the subtle places where you're still holding little grips. See if you can let go of those grips. More and more, let the body melt into the mat, the skin, the muscles. And as you give yourself permission to take a break from the thoughts, to take a break from doing, just practice witnessing. Practice being the observer, watching the breath. Watching the layers of relaxation. Then bring your knees together. Roll over to your side. And press yourself up to seated. Bring the palms together. Thank you. Namaste.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that you learned some things about how to develop the pushing strength without losing the posture. Really important that we can do that. And then that we learned a little bit about the external rotation, how to hold the shoulder in symmetry, because not just learning how to come up with good symmetry, but also strengthening the muscles that are going to help to hold you in good posture are important. So if you enjoyed it, let me know below, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.